Hey there, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through how to get started setting up and using Codex, which is the AI coding harness created by ChatGPT. I've got the official website pulled up here. As you can see, it's your AI assistant for work. You can either install it in an IDE like VS Code, Cursor, JetBrains, or Warp, or you can also run it in the command line interface. In this tutorial, we're mostly going to be using the command line interface because it uses less resources and it's just really easy and fast to get things done in the CLI. And you can take a look through the website. I'm just going to leave a link in the description below. Personally, this is my favorite AI coding harness available. I've recently switched over from Claude Code. In fact, I just went ahead and canceled my Claude Code subscription because I was constantly running out of credits. And it was just getting slower and slower, and I decided to switch over to Codex, and I feel like I definitely made the right decision. So you can see here the ChatGPT plan to get started with Codex starts on Plus, which I just went ahead and upgraded to. On the Plus plan, you get access to advanced models, including ChatGPT 5.5, which is their current most advanced model, and it is really impressive. I've already started using it to create PowerPoint presentations and complete YouTube scripts and all sorts of stuff. It's really fast and a huge time saver. And then you've also got even more messages and uploads, advanced image creation with thinking. I've also been using ChatGPT Images 2.0 a lot more as well. In fact, I'm designing all of my YouTube thumbnails using ChatGPT Images 2.0, and it is absolutely incredible what it could come up with, as well as expanded memory across chats and Codex coding agent, which is the main reason why I upgraded to the Plus plan. And it also includes expanded deep research and projects and custom GPTs. I'm just going to come over to ChatGPT Plus inside the browser over here, and you can see I'm already using it to create thumbnails. In fact, I create all of my YouTube thumbnails using ChatGPT images. You can see it's just very detailed. It's amazing what it can do. But this is just scratching the surface of what you can do. You really want to come over to Codex, and then you can just open it up in the cloud. So if I want to come to Codex Cloud, I can come up here and then I can go to Cloud. And what that's going to do is just going to open it up in my browser. You can see here I've already got my GitHub account connected, so I've got access to all of my different repositories here, or many of them anyway. I can select my branch as well as my repo. So I'm just going to say do a code review, and it will get to work right away. So I'm going to start executing that. And I'm also going to be running this in the terminal because it's really fast in the terminal. So I just went ahead and updated to the latest version of Codex over here. I'm running Debian Linux, so it's really easy to get things done in the terminal. And I'm just going to run the command Codex YOLO. And you can see right away says welcome to Codex, OpenAI's command line coding agent, and it's asking me to sign in with my user credentials for the paid plan because I logged out of my account. Now I need to log in again. So I'm just going to sign in with ChatGPT using the new Plus plan. Since I just upgraded, I can log in with my account, and that's just going to authenticate with the command line. It's asking me to sign in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now that we're logged into our ChatGPT Codex account on the latest version here, we can set our model. In order to set the model, you're just going to do /model. And from here, you can either use GPT 5.5, which is the frontier model for complex coding, research, and real-world work. Obviously, this one's going to use more credits, so I typically don't use GPT 5.5. I'll use like 5.4 mini, which is small, fast, and cost-efficient for simpler coding tasks. It says simpler coding tasks, but the fact of the matter is, it still works amazingly for most use cases. So I would recommend just going with 5.4 mini or possibly even GPT 5.4. In this case, I'm just going to set GPT mini, and then we can also set our reasoning level here as well. So typically, I just recommend medium because that balances speed and reasoning depth. You really can't go wrong with medium, but you could also set high or extra high if you're doing really intense coding work. For most cases, I find that medium works perfectly fine. So now it says we've changed the model, and it looks like it's having some issues with the skills. So if I want to open up skills, I can come over here and either enable, disable skills, or list all the skills. If I click on list all skills, you can see I've got a lot of different skills built in over here. I don't even know what most of these do, to be perfectly honest. But for most cases, I would recommend Superpowers, which is for planning, debugging, and delivery workflows for coding agents. And this is just going to make your coding tasks even more powerful. So if I wanted to do like a full code review on my YouTube Analytics platform, I could do that over here, just like we're doing in the cloud as well. So if I come back over to Codex Cloud, you can see it is already going ahead and doing the full code review, and it's now recommending different things that I might want to fix. So this one, for example, is a suggested task. If I want to actually go ahead and execute this, I could just click on Start Task, and now it's going to get to work fixing whatever the problem is here inside the cloud. And if we click up here, you can see it's going ahead and getting started with that task, and you can see exactly what it's doing over here. It's just pulling from GitHub, and now it's going ahead and implementing this fix over here. We can also view the log if we want to take a look at what it's doing. And I can also do the same thing in the terminal over here. In this case, I just want to use the Superpowers skill, which is essentially just going to supercharge my code review. One of the things that I really like about Codex is that it's super fast. I would say, substantially faster than Claude Code. I just wasn't really liking Claude Code all that much anymore, so I decided to cancel and switch full-time over to both Codex and also Open Code. So this is my daily driver, and I've also got Open Code, a bunch of Open Codes running over here as well at the same time. And then we can also go ahead and open this up in one of my other directories. So if I come up to projects, I've got a stock tracking app. So we can also open up Codex over here as well. And I can tell it to do the same thing. We're just going to do Superpowers. I'm going to say do a full code review. This is just a simple example that shows off the power of what Codex is capable of. And then if I want to see any of the other commands over here as well, I can go ahead and do \, and you can see these are the different commands that you can run inside Codex. And you can also resume your chat as well. So let's say I exit out of this. You can do Codex resume, and then that's the specific ID we want to resume. So that'll just put me right back into what I was previously doing, and then I could just type continue. You can see here it's now resuming from the interrupted review. It's checking whether the type check finished, and then it's going to turn the verified issues into a concise findings list with severity and exact locations. And you can see in the cloud over here, it has gone ahead and fixed up whatever the issue was over here, and we've got a full summary. So it says it tightened the migrate authorization. So now if I want to do a git commit and push, that should just push it up to my GitHub repository, the changes that it made. So that's just going to automatically push it up to my GitHub as I've told it to do, and then it will update with the fixes that it just made. You can also do it up here as well. And this is all running inside the cloud, so you don't have to run this locally on your computer. Very helpful if you have a slow computer and you don't want to use a lot of processing power. You can just run it in the cloud. Another thing I want to do is just do a full code review on my main website, which is over here. I just recently redesigned this and put it up on its own domain. So if I wanted to do a full code review on this, I could either type in the URL and it would be able to read the website, or I could just come into my local directory over here where all of the code is being stored, and I could tell it once again to do a full code review. We're going to use the Superpower skill on this one as well. Tell it to do a full code review and suggest design functionality improvements on my website over here. And I think you'll be surprised by how quickly it'll be able to do the full code review. And if I need to fix anything up with the overall layout or the design or anything on my website, I can quickly and easily do that within Codex running in the terminal. And I've just gone ahead and stopped the code review over here because it was slowing down my computer too much. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind, is that if it's doing a lot of rebuilds of your project, chances are it's going to slow down your computer, especially if you have a slower computer. I have a Lenovo laptop, which is not that fast. I ultimately need to upgrade my computer at some point. But for now, this is what I'm working with. Just know that it will potentially slow down your computer. So now, as you can see over here, these are the key findings that it came back with for the code review using the Superpowers skill, ranked by high to low. And it also has the suggested pass here as well. So it's telling me exactly what to do. If I want to implement these changes, I say implement the fixes, and it will get to work within seconds, fixing up the things that are not so great on the website. And then also I want to add the email functionality to my newsletter down here as well. Fix the email.js for newsletter form so that it can use email.js, which is the backend that I'm using to actually send the emails. And that shouldn't take very long at all. I would think, just about a minute or two. You can see it's getting to work right away. It found the newsletter component in the shared email helper, and it's just going to check whether the issue is in the newsletter specific call path or in the shared email.js wrapper. And in the meantime, it's going ahead and fixing up a bunch of stuff over here, which it's found in the code review. So I think this is like the main website right here, so it needs to fix up some of these links. And it's removing some things from the contact page, and then it's adding in additional code as well. And it's also fixing up the email newsletter template over here as well. So it looks like it was able to figure that out already. So I actually don't need to run this as well. It's already going ahead and fixing it up over here. That's how smart Codex is. I highly recommend getting started with Codex. And again, it's only $20 a month, so it's the exact same price as Claude Code, and I would say it's a lot faster. Another cool thing that you can do is you can actually just read in other websites and completely redesign apps. So if I wanted to read this one in, and I could just say, read this site, right? We're just going to paste in the link and redesign it. This is something I recently did for a client where I just pulled in his entire website as well as all the images and the copy and the layout, everything, and I just completely redesigned it within about 30 minutes using Codex. And then I also did the same thing for my own site over here. I already made a tutorial showing how I redesigned this site, which you're welcome to check out. And now it's saying that the current page is a fairly standard dark software as a service layout. It's checking the styling foundation. So it's just going to go ahead and do that. And it says some of what we're working on might be easier to explain if I can show you in the web browser. In the meantime, looks like Codex has finished the full implementation based on the code review. So it says exactly what it did over here. And now if I just want to git commit and push this to GitHub, I can go ahead and do that. And then it will automatically update GitHub and put up a new production deployment over here inside Versal. The commit is in place, and now it's pushing it, and boom, there it is. So now this is the latest version of my website, which is building over here inside Versal. You can see exactly what it's doing, and now it's already done. So if I go ahead and refresh my site, we should see the updates, and we can also check to see if the newsletter thing is working. So I'm just going to enter in my email here, and let's see if we got the newsletter in here. Yep, sure enough, we've got the newsletter in our email. Message has been received, and it just says newsletter sign up. So I was able to fix that within a couple seconds. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them down below. And then also you can schedule a free consultation on my website over here. All you have to do is fill out some basic information, select your budget, and then you can make a booking on the calendar over here as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial showing how to get started with Codex. Again, I would recommend at least getting started on the Plus plan, which is only $20 per month. And then you can also upgrade to Business. They've got Pro for about $100 a month. And it just is going to depend on your use case and what you're looking to do with Codex. Please also go ahead and check out my school community over here. We've got 2,700 members in here at the time of recording. It's growing fast. You can also take a look around the classroom with all of the courses and tutorials, as well as introduce yourself inside the community. Completely free to join. And then I also offer the paid plans as well, starting at $9 per month. So would love to see you inside the school community. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe. Peace from Thailand, signing off.